Imagine a country where sheep outnumber humans by nearly 7-1. You heard that right, sheep. Rolling green hills, mountains, and peaceful pastures cover almost every corner of this stunning land. Welcome to New Zealand, a country famous for its natural beauty, friendly locals, and sheep. Today we'll explore why this island nation has so many sheep, how they shape the economy, influence culture, and even define New Zealand's identity in the world. By the end of this documentary, you'll not only understand the numbers but also discover the heart and soul of life among millions of fluffy sheep. New Zealand is an island nation in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, made up of two main islands, the North Island and the South Island, along with over 700 smaller islands. Despite its moderate size, New Zealand's population is relatively small, around 5 million people as of 2025. Meanwhile, there are 30 to 40 million sheep roaming the country, which means sheep outnumber humans almost 7-1. This fact is so astonishing that visitors often wonder if sheep are New Zealand's real residents. The country is globally renowned for its breathtaking scenery, towering mountains, glacial lakes, and rolling green farmland. It's no surprise that sheep thrive in this environment. But how did New Zealand end up with more sheep than people? Let's find out. Sheep were first introduced to New Zealand by European settlers in the early 19th century. Before that, the indigenous Maori people primarily relied on fishing, hunting, and cultivating crops such as kumara. The first sheep arrived in 1814 on a ship called the HMS Active, brought by a British settler named Samuel Marsden. Initially, the flock was small, just a few dozen sheep, but they thrived in New Zealand's climate. Over the decades, more settlers brought different breeds to improve wool and meat quality. By the late 19th century, sheep farming had become the backbone of New Zealand's economy. Farms stretched across the country, producing wool that was exported worldwide. At its peak, sheep farming was the country's largest industry. New Zealand developed unique breeds, including the Romney, Perrendale, and Corriedale. Each breed adapted perfectly to the country's lush pastures and rugged terrain. Sheep quickly became more than just livestock. They were symbols of prosperity, resilience, and the connection between humans and nature. To understand New Zealand's sheep culture, let's visit a working farm. A typical sheep farm can range from hundreds to thousands of acres. Farmers often start their day before sunrise, checking on the flock, repairing fences, and monitoring lambing seasons. Shearing, a critical task, occurs once or twice a year. Skilled shearers can remove wool from dozens of sheep in just a few hours. The wool is then processed and exported around the world. Sheep farming requires not only hard work but also clever use of technology. Farmers use drones, GPS tracking, and sheepdogs to manage large flocks efficiently. Sheepdogs are essential in New Zealand farming. These intelligent dogs help guide flocks across hilly terrain, sometimes performing complex maneuvers that make herding easier for farmers. Watching a skilled dog in action is both practical and mesmerizing. Beyond work, sheep are part of the farm family. Farmers often name some sheep, especially those with unique personalities, and local children grow up helping care for the flocks. Sheep are not just cultural icons, they are economic powerhouses. New Zealand exports wool, meat, and dairy products derived from sheep globally. The wool industry alone generates hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Lamb and mutton exports are in high demand, particularly in Europe and Asia. Wool is used in clothing, carpets, and even specialty products like fine merino garments. Sheep tourism is also a growing niche. Many visitors flock to farms to experience sheep shearing, feed lambs, and even take selfies with friendly sheep. Towns like Hokitika and Wanaka promote sheep-based attractions for tourists seeking authentic rural experiences. Sheep are deeply woven into New Zealand's identity. They appear in movies like The Lord of the Rings, representing pastoral life and tranquility. The country's love for sheep also influences humor, sports, and folklore. For example, New Zealanders often make sheep jokes, celebrate sheep festivals, and even have sheep-themed competitions, including racing or agility contests for the animals. The relationship between humans and sheep here goes beyond farming. Sheep are part of the social fabric. New Zealand's sheep story teaches us a lot about human-animal coexistence, sustainability, and cultural identity. Sheep are more than just livestock. They're partners in the economy, icons of culture, and symbols of the country's trust in nature. Visitors leave New Zealand not just impressed by sheep numbers, but inspired by the harmony between humans, animals, and the environment.